Hello, I'm Carol Jehn, Lamb Shop, Denver, Colorado. Today I want to talk about the basics of knitting, which are the cast on, knitting, purling, and the bind off for the cast off. My favorite utilitarian cast on is the long tail cast on. I use a tail and the live yarn, which comes from the ball of yarn. I drape it over my thumb and my pointing finger. With the tail over my thumb, it uses less yarn. This is the only part of the process that you're going to start from the crossbar. And I pull it down to a V. When I'm looking at that, where it crosses to the left of the cross on my thumb, I go in from the bottom. Then over the diagonal from the front and out the hole that my thumb is in. And then I pull it. This is also the only time you will get 2 stitches at once. Now I don't have to start from the crossbar anymore. I go down to a V again. Left of the cross on my thumb, under the diagonal from the front, and out the hole that my thumb is in. Now watch my thumb. I take my thumb and tighten the strand of yarn that is in the front. I don't have to keep setting up for the cast on. Now let's go to the knit stitch. The knit stitch starts from the left side of my stitch as I sit on the needle. And I go in needle to needle. I go from the front, left to right to the back. My live yarn goes behind my right needle. I pick up the live yarn, go from back to front, and then pop it off the left needle. I've divided it in half. Go in from the left to the back, go behind the right needle with the yarn in between the needles. Point of my needles picks up the yarn, and I pop it off the left needle. Front to back, between, front, off. Now let's go to the purl stitch. When purling, my yarn is always in front of my right needle, and I go from right to left between my needles and pop it off. In from the right, take my yarn from right to left between the needles, point to the back, pop it off. In from the right to left, yarn goes right to left between the needles to pick up my yarn and pop it off my left needle. Casting off is the 4th part of the basics of knitting. And casting off and binding off are the same thing. So you always cast off in pattern. Once you have knit more, you will know which side of the work you're on. I'm now on the knit side of my work, so I will cast off knitwise. I knit 2 stitches, then I leapfrog the first stitch knit over the second stitch and off the needle. Now I only have 1 on my needle. I have to have 2. I knit 1 more, take my left point in front and pop it over the one on the needle. Knit 1 more, all the way off to the end. When you get to the end, you're going to have 1 loop. Cut your yarn and draw the end about 6 inches. Leave about 6 inches. Cut it and take the end of that piece of yarn through the loop, tighten it, and you're finished. Happy knitting.